week or two because you're in Boston, where you used to coach. You're in Brooklyn, where you have two great players. Now you're going coaching against your son tonight.
Well, I think getting to the night just confirms that I'm old. You know, I think that's what it does. When you go back to a place in the Boston you've been for 9 years, and now you're coaching against old players that you're coaching, and they're on another team, and then you're coaching your son against your son in the NBA. That means you've been around a long time. It was an emotional thing, and this is just, you know, I've only got the chance last year to go up against Austin once because he was injured the other time, and it's just different, honestly. It's just a strange thing, you know, when he's on the floor. I mean, it's your son, but you want to beat him, you know, it's just strange. And, you know, and I know what side my family's on, so and they're usually on my side, so that's all different for me.
You obviously nice win against the Spurs, but now that you had a chance to sort of look back at the game, were there things in the game that you saw that really pleased you, some of the progress you've seen?
Well, I thought the thing that I liked the most is that there were 4 or 5 times in the game that I thought we had the opportunity to lose our composure, and we didn't. And I thought for us, that's great growth, you know. The Spurs just never stop, you know. Even with the lead with 5 minutes left, you're just never comfortable playing them because you know they're going to make a run and they're capable of it. And every time they made a run, we answered with another run of ours. And you know, so watching the game again, you really enjoyed that part of it.
What did the conversation before the game consist of between you and your son?
Well, I tell him to turn it over, you know, to foul. You know, I don't talk. We talk in parameters on the day of. It's, you know, again, I'm not good at it. We haven't practiced it enough. You know, and then we talk about, you know, dinner after the game. But we kind of say, I try not to talk to him long. I talked to him for like 3 minutes today, and I tried to time my call right when I thought he was sleeping, you know, to wake him up. So other than that, we'll spend time after the game.
You think it's harder for him or for you to go through this?
Oh, I think it's harder for me. I think it's easy for him. Every son wants to beat their dad. You know, I don't think that's hard at all. He's already one of the most competitive human beings I've ever met anywhere. So I don't think this is hard for him at all. I think it's strange for him when he sees me over there, you know, but I think it's just harder for you. You know, you want your kids to do well.
Is it conceivable that you get in a tight game right at the end, you gotta make a decision, gotta make a call in the huddle, you look down the way and there's your son. And you know better than anybody what kind of matchup might work against him.
Yeah.
You take advantage of that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Without hesitation. You know, I think it was Rondo last year asked the question, and it was, you know, we're about to go out, and he said, I have one question for you, Coach. And I said, yes. And he says, game tied, you know, or no, what is it? We're up 2. Your son has the ball. He shoots a 3 with no time left. What's your thoughts? You know, when the ball's in the air. And so the whole team's looking at me, and I said, win-win. I'm winning either way. So I guess that would be it. He wouldn't answer that way. He'd say only one win, probably.
How instrumental were you in his basketball development growing up, or did you leave it to his coach?
I left it to his coaches, mostly. You know, he was around it a lot, so I'm sure that was instrumental. But I'm not a big believer in parents coaching kids. I don't think it's a good thing. And so I coach him when he asks the question, but I kind of stay away from it. His love found the game. It wasn't my love, it's his love and of the game. And I just think that's really important. Having gone through AAU, I can tell you that parents should be parents and coaches should be coaches. And I think that's very important.
Is there any conversation, aka trash talking, during games?
No, well, the first one, they beat us, so I couldn't say a word. If we get up, who knows? We'll see. That would be nice.
Doc, Matt was cleared by doctors, but
Yeah.
is he going to play? Or
He's going to dress out, most likely. I hopefully don't play him, but just in case, if needed, he's ready to play. You know, except for he hasn't had a practice and really hasn't, you know, what he was allowed to run like 3 or 4 days ago. So, you know, we have back-to-back practice days coming up tomorrow and the next day. So I'm hoping to be able to use them in practice and then get them back on the floor.
Is that, his return, does that allow you to kind of get back to going small? Like you wanted it?
Well, we still can. You know, we did it the other night with Steven at the 4, which was good too, because he's a big 4 right now until he gets in better shape. You know, so I do like just Matt's ability to cut. We really missed that off the ball. He's our best off the ball cutter, and we haven't had that.
He has to protect his eyes. Do you foresee that being I mean, he hasn't worn those.
Yeah, I have no idea how that works. Some people do well with them. I mean, Rip Hamilton wore one, a mask, and never took it off the rest of his career. Some people really struggle with it. So I think, I mean, I don't know the answer. So we'll see. My guess is going to be hard.
You guys were ranked bottom 3 in the league defensively as recently as 3-4 weeks ago. Today was 7th.
Yeah.
What's worked?
Just time. You know, really, that's been it. It's just time. I was confident early on that our defense would come around. You could see it, and I kept saying it that you know, we all were doing it every time, the consistency, and now you can see the consistency in it. And guys know now when they make a mistake, they know the mistake. That's the next step. We have another level, and that's the next
Is
step.
there an example of something, let's say, Blake Griffin's doing today?
Oh yeah. Blake's his show angles. You know, a lot of people just think showing is good enough. We don't. We believe the angle of the show on defense, on pick and rolls, and his show angles last night or the other night were the example of where we've come. He was able to turn Parker up the floor and get back to his guy underneath the basket over and over again. Our show angles were poor, and then the multiple effort was poor, and our guards wasn't squaring the ball up. Now they're doing all those things.
In terms of show angles, is KG the best you've ever seen?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's still good, which I'm amazed by, because I would think the older you get, it'd be harder to do. He's still good at it. And, you know, the whole key is mirroring the picker's back. And he's able to do it, and he does a great job of it. But yeah, he's the best.
What sort of parallels have you seen between the way the Pelicans have changed since Anthony Davis came aboard and how the Clippers have changed since Blake Griffin came on several years ago?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought of that. That's a very deep question. Did you think about that all night? Or, I mean, my gosh, that's smart. Just the last couple. But, you know, listen, they're going to build around him. And they should. He's special. And they don't have him, which has hurt their team. And you can see the trades and the moves they've made since they've had him. This summer, they're trying to build around Anthony, which is very smart. We have, you know, Blake and Chris that we're trying to build around. And so when you get guys like that, you don't ever want to lose them. And the best way to not lose them is building around them. Thanks, guys.